My 14-year-old sent 3 boys to the hospital. Then I found out what they did to his little sister. The call came from the vice principal while I was in a budget meeting. Mrs. Foster, your son Lucas attacked 3 students during lunch. 2 have broken bones, 1 has a concussion. Police are on their way. I dropped my pen. Lucas, my quiet kid who spent weekends building Lego sets? There must be a mistake. The vice principal's voice went cold. No mistake. Your son is extremely dangerous. Get here immediately. My hands shook so badly I could barely start the engine. Lucas had never been in a fight, never even raised his voice. What the hell happened? When I arrived, 2 police cars were parked outside. Through the office window, I saw Lucas sitting in a chair, knuckles wrapped in bloody paper towels, staring at the floor. His shirt was torn, his lips split, but his eyes looked empty. Vice Principal Davies met me at the door with 2 officers. Your son ambushed 3 boys in the cafeteria without warning. Witnesses say he went berserk. We're pressing charges for assault. 1 officer nodded. Kids looking at juvenile detention. I pushed past them to Lucas. Baby, what happened? He looked up at me with pure rage. Where's Lily? My stomach dropped. Lily, his 10-year-old sister. She's at school. Lucas, what does Lily have to do with this? His jaw clenched. Ask those 3 what they did to her. The room went quiet. Davies shifted uncomfortably. Mrs. Foster, your son is deflecting. This has nothing to do with your daughter. But something in his tone felt wrong. Where is my daughter right now? Davies hesitated. She's in the nurse's office. She had a panic attack this morning. I turned to the officers. I want to see my daughter before we discuss anything else. The nurse's office was down the hall. When I opened the door, Lily was curled up on the cot facing the wall, unmoving. Lily, sweetheart? She flinched at my voice. When she turned around, her eyes were red and swollen. But what made my blood run cold was her neck. Dark purple bruises in the shape of fingers wrapped around her throat. Baby, who did this to you? She started crying. I can't tell. They said they'd hurt Lucas if I told. I gently lifted her shirt. More bruises across her ribs, her arms, some fresh, some yellowing. Weeks of abuse mapped across my baby's body. The nurse stood in the doorway looking guilty. I documented the bruises 2 weeks ago and reported it to administration. They said they'd handle it. I turned to her slowly. You saw this 2 weeks ago and my daughter is still being beaten? The nurse looked down. I was told the boys' parents are major donors. Administration wanted to investigate quietly. Something inside me snapped. I walked back to the office and held up my phone showing photos of Lily's bruises. My son is the threat? Explain these. Davies' face went white. The officer stepped forward. Those are strangulation marks, one said quietly. I looked at Davies. The nurse reported this 2 weeks ago. You did nothing because the attacker's parents donate money. Lucas's voice cut through. They cornered her by the portables every day after PE. Today they told her they were going to finish what they started. So I finished them first. One officer walked over. Son, what do you mean finish what they started? Lucas looked up with dead eyes. I heard them in the locker room yesterday, bragging about how they were going to really hurt Lily today. Make sure she never told anyone anything ever again. The officer's expression changed. That's a terroristic threat against a minor. He turned to Davies. Why wasn't this reported? Davies was sweating. The boys denied everything. I held up my phone again. My daughter has strangulation marks. My son heard them planning to harm her today. He protected his sister because your school cared more about donor money than her safety. The officer was already calling for detectives. Within minutes, detectives separated the 3 boys for questioning. The youngest, only 13, cracked immediately when shown photos of Lily's injuries. Started crying and admitted everything. They'd been targeting Lily since September because she'd rejected one of them at a dance. What started as comments became shoving, then worse. 2 weeks ago, they'd choked her behind the gym. The nurse found her and reported it. But Davies told her the boys came from good families and needed a chance to explain first. Except he never followed up. The boy's confession was recorded. Detectives pulled school security footage Davies claimed didn't exist. Clear video of all 3 dragging Lily to an isolated area and beating her. The footage was from 3 days ago. Davies had buried it. When the boys' parents arrived, one mother screamed, "My son is injured because of that violent psycho." Then the detective played the security footage. Her face changed watching her son punch my 10-year-old daughter in the stomach while his friends held her arms. The father tried to shut it off. You can't show this. The detective's voice was ice. This is evidence of aggravated assault and terroristic threats. Your sons are being charged. All 3 families went silent. Lucas was released with no charges. Davies was fired within 48 hours. All 3 boys were expelled and charged. 2 took plea deals. The 3rd went to trial. Jury took 30 minutes to convict after seeing Lily's medical records. Lucas and Lily transferred schools. Both started therapy.